This was Tuesday night in Hong Kong. Protests have become the new normal here, but this was in response to the authorities' change in tactics. Pro-democracy demonstrators surrounded a police station to support their own. For the first time since the wave of protests began, prosecutors have charged people with rioting. 44 demonstrators were charged over protests on Sunday that turned violent. If found guilty, they could face up to 10 years in prison.
Using these draconian rules will not heal Hong Kong, although they may have the backup from Beijing. But clearly, this kind of condition will only elevate the violence. Young people will only become more united.
The protest started as a pushback against an extradition bill that would have allowed criminal suspects to be sent to mainland China for trial. They've morphed into what some have called Hong Kong's greatest political crisis and a backlash against Beijing's influence. Demonstrators have continued their calls for greater democracy and the resignation of the city's leader, Carrie Lam. It's raised concerns that mainland authorities could intervene in the territory, which is a part of China, but has a high degree of autonomy. They've made it clear that they're backing the Hong Kong government.
The Chinese government firmly supports the SAR's government to govern in accordance with the law, firmly supports Hong Kong's police in punishing violent criminals according to law, and safeguarding Hong Kong's peace, security and stability.
But Beijing also has this message for who it calls the radical individuals responsible for the situation.
They've also crossed the red line of one country, two systems. They should by no means be tolerated.
The anti-government protests in Hong Kong began as peaceful demonstrations. They've been growing more violent as the weeks progress. But one incident stands out. On July 21, the usually quiet town of Yuen Long near the Chinese border turned into a battleground. Men accused of being gang members went on a rampage at a train station. Some of the commuters had been returning from an anti-government rally. Others were simply on the subway. Calls for help from emergency services went unanswered. Police arrived after the attackers had left. By that time, 45 people had been injured. Some critics have accused the police of colluding with the mob behind the attack. Police deny the allegation. The following week, demonstrators came to the area to protest against the violence in Yuen Long. That march had been banned by authorities, but that didn't stop it from going ahead. One more sign of the ever-widening fractures in Hong Kong society. Natalie Poyhonen, The Newsmakers.